A very good morning, children. Hope you had a great weekend. So today I am going to start chapter 12, okay, a part of geometry, lines and angles. So one of the foundational concepts of geometry are involved in this. So understand them carefully. That too quite easy only. And for this exclusive chapter, no need of geometry box except scale, pencil and protractor. I will tell you when the protractor is needed and all. So initially for the first two exercises, scale and pencil will be enough. So first look at the board. Don't copy anything of this into your CW. I will give you a document which is to be copied. So today we are going to discuss the concepts of line segment. Okay, what exactly is line segment? And next is ray, and next is line, and the last one is angle. Okay, as each individual is having its own connection, it is to be discussed them in order. So first one is line segment, second one is ray, and third one is line, and the last one is angle. Okay, so let us start with line segment. As you know, for example, in a plane, I take a point like this, okay, and another point like this. Let this point be A and this point be B, okay. So, if I want to join these points with the help of a scale like this, okay. So, if I join, okay, this point and this point using a scale, we get a figure called line segment. Okay, by taking 2 points on a plane and join them using a scale, we'll get a figure, and the respective figure we call line segment. Okay, here these points A and B we call end points. Okay, here A and B are end points. That means we should not proceed further or beyond these points. Hope you are quite children. Whenever we show a point like this, this clearly indicates that you should not extend the figure in this direction or in this direction. Okay, they are fixed points and we call them end points. Okay, and the representation of a line segment in the future classes, when they say like this AB, the reason why they took AB is here the points we took are A and B. And if they specify simply like this, we have to consider it as line segment only. Okay, they won't write in words saying that line segment AB. They will just symbolically indicate line segment like this. Okay, so a line segment AB is written as this one. For example, in place of A we have P and in place of B we have Q. Okay, in place of A we have P and Q. Then PQ will be the line segment. Okay, it is not that always we have to take AB. Any consecutive or any alphabets we can take to represent a line segment. That is line segment. Now, if we observe the board, it is very much clear that how many end points are there in a line segment? 2 end points. Okay, how many end points? 2 end points like A and B here. Okay, and can I say that this is a fixed length? Yes, because we already told that A and B are fixed. We should not move them from here to there. Hence, line segment will have a definite length or fixed length. Both are same. Okay, definite or fixed length. These are very important points considering the properties of line segment, children. They have 2 end points. Representation is this, and they have definite and fixed length. Okay, now next we are going to discuss ray. Okay, So ray. In a line segment, how many endpoints are there? 2 endpoints. Now what I am going to do is, I want to take only one endpoint, okay, and the other one is open or not at all endpoint. And if we want to join these both, okay, if we join these 2 points in which A is fixed and B is not fixed, such a figure we call a ray. For example, if you take sun as an example, because we will call sun rays, isn't it? So from sun the rays will come like this. So in this, will you say that sun is fixed or not? It's absolute that sun is in fixed position whereas rays are coming from that point. The same applies here. Okay. So if we extend a line segment, AB in one direction, in only one direction, without end point, okay, and indicate it by an arrow, we call such a figure as ray. Here I have to make sure that the orientation can be a straight line like this, okay, or like this. And see children, it is not that we have to move in this direction only. We can fix B and we can make A to be moved. Hope you are clear. Here both are fixed. Here only one end is fixed. Either A or B or P or Q. Whatever, it is not at all a problem. So here, how many endpoints are there? Only one endpoint. For example, take the above figure. So endpoints is equal to, in the case of a ray, number of endpoints is equal to, here what is the endpoint? A. Please be careful. Okay, endpoint means fixed. And we call this endpoint as initial point also. Okay, initial point. That is where the ray exactly starts, we call initial point or starting point. Hope you are quiet children. And here we cannot measure the length of a ray, because if I ask you to draw a ray, you may write like this also. Someone will place like this. Someone will write like this. Either any of these can be considered as a ray. Okay. So a ray does not have a definite length like this. Okay. No definite length. Definite or fixed length. Concepts are very easy. Okay. So here we have 2 endpoints, here 1 endpoint, and here we have a fixed length, here we don't have a fixed length. Now, and the representation of a ray is usually like this. AB ray. So whenever we see a representation like this, immediately we will say AB is a line segment. Whenever we see a representation like this, then we will say, that means like an arrow, we will immediately say AB is a ray. Okay, and the last concept is line. We are done with line segment, ray, and now line. I think by this time you got a small conclusion with the line. See how many endpoints are here? 2. And here how many endpoints are there? 1. So 2, 1. If we take the reverse sequence, what it is going to be? 0. So if we take a line segment AB like this, if we take a line segment AB and if we extend them in such a way that both the endpoints are open now, okay, if we extend the line segment AB in both the direction without endpoints, here 2 endpoints, here 1 endpoints, here no endpoints. So no endpoints. No endpoints. Such a figure we call a line. Hope you are quite clear with this children. Here both A and B are fixed. Here what we did, we released A. Here we released both A and B. Hence here endpoints are 2, here only 1 endpoint, here no endpoint. Okay. So Such a figure we call a line. And the representation of line is like this. Of all, these representations are very important, children. So AB without arrows we call line segment. AB with single arrow we will call ray. AB with both the arrows pointing outwards we will call it a line. Okay. So we are done with these three concepts. Next one is very much important. So please follow the explanation carefully. Okay, now we are going to deal with angle. Okay, what exactly the angle is going to be in mathematical terms, how to represent it, how we can form angle. Okay, those things we are going to discuss now. So check the board. Look, I am marking a point A on a plane. Okay, so I am taking a point A. From A, I am drawing a ray like this. Please listen to the words carefully, children. I am drawing a ray. As you know, a ray will have one end point and the other one will extend like this. So, for instance, let us call it B. Okay. So, from A, I drew a ray. With the same point A, I want to draw another ray in a different direction and I am naming it C. Okay. So from the same point or from the same initial point, I drew a ray AB and I drew a ray AC. Hope you are understanding, children. I took the point A and from A I drew a ray AB and another ray AC. Now if you observe, this figure is made up of two rays, namely AB and AC. And these rays have one thing in common, that is same initial point. Even for AB ray, even for ray AB, A is common. And even for ray AC, A is common. Okay. So, this figure indicates an angle. Okay. And we will show the angle like this. Okay. So, this one we call angle. When two rays have a same initial point of different directions form a figure like this, such we call an angle. Okay. Now, here naming an angle is important, children. So, naming an angle is important. Now, look. So, this angle have two parts. One is vertex. Okay, vertex. What does actually a vertex mean? Okay, the common end point for both the rays which helped us to form the angle is called vertex. That means in AB ray, what is the common point for AB and AC? It's clearly A. So for the angle, this angle, A is the vertex. A is the vertex. And what we have to call these two rays AB and AC is, we call them sides or arms. Okay, we call them sides or arms. Sides or arms of the angle. So when someone asks you, by giving an angle and asks you what is the vertex means, we have to check the common point for both the given rays and we have to name the vertex. And the arms means individual, okay, individual rays we call sides or angles. Now, I have a question. Here we formed this angle using two rays. Can we say that we should not use line segments to form an angle? Okay, even that is also correct, children. So, if I take a point P for instance, okay, from this I drew a line segment PQ, and from the same point P, if I drew another line segment PR, if you observe here also it forms an angle. So, not only with ray, even with line segments also we can form an angle. Here also like this, vertex is going to be P and the individual arms or sides are going to be PQ and PR. Now, my question is, can we form an angle using a line? Let us see. So, line means it won't carry any endpoints. Okay. Then where can we take the starting point? Someone can start here, and if I want to extend the line up to here, then where I should take the initial point? Hence, it is not at all possible to draw an angle using lines. We can make use of either ray or the line segment to form an angle. Hope you are clear, children. But in most of the cases, we'll deal with rays only. And it is not at all wrong to take line segments to make an angle also. Okay. Now, so next, the representation of angles. Usually we use English alphabets to write an angle. That too, only capital letters only. Okay. English capital letters will be used to write an angle. For example, if I want to write this angle ABC in an easy manner, how I will use capital letters is, look, what is the initial point or the starting point or the vertex for both the rays? A. That should come always in the middle. This is very important, children. Okay. So, the vertex or the initial point of both the rays should come in the middle. Now, how many places are left over is this side and this side. Then how we'll write is, see, BAC. We can write BAC or CAB. Both are correct. Okay. We can write this angle as angle BAC, angle BAC or angle CAB. Both are correct, but the initial point should always be in the middle. Hope you are clear with this, children. Okay. And now, what is the symbolic representation for angle BAC? We'll write like this. See, half triangle, angle BAC or angle CAB. Okay, both are correct. This is the way how we have to represent an angle. So, an angle is a figure which can be formed using two rays of same initial point or same vertex. That initial point we'll call vertex and the individual sides we call sides or arms of the angle. Okay, and the way how we have to spell is angle BAC or angle CAB, in which the common initial point will always be in the middle. The symbolic representation for angle is angle BAC or angle CAB. So the final and very simple concept, children. So we dealt with what exactly an angle is. Now we are going to understand what is the interior and exterior angle. Interior means inside, exterior means outside. Okay, this concept is going to be useful for 6th class also. So interior means inside, exterior means outside. So in this angle AOB, as you know, we can write the symbol for angle as like this, and the initial point or common for both the rays is O. So which will come in the middle, and the other two AOB or BOA. Please be careful, children. Either we have to write AOB or we have to write BOA. Okay, both are same. Don't take them or treat them as separate angles. Okay, in this angle AOB or angle BOA, we have something inside, isn't it? So this area we call interior of the angle. Okay, and this area which is outside, okay, which is outside this angle we call exterior of the angle. Exterior. The reason why we have to learn this concept is, for example, there is a point P. Okay, I am giving point P like this. When someone asks us whether P is interior or exterior, we can definitely say it is interior of the angle A. Hope you are quite Clear with this, children? And if I give a point like this Z, then we have to understand that Z is exterior to the given angle AOB. So these are the concepts, children. For this I am going to give you the notes. You copy the same into your CW, and tomorrow we'll start the exercise 12.1. Have a great day.